Okay, everybody, here we go. It's me, Gregory Mannarino, Thursday, August 8th, 2024, post-market wrap-up. Today, I really want to focus on you guys and you girls. At the end of this, I really want you to think, get a pen and paper right now. I want you to write down questions you have. I am going to do my best to really open up this and answer as many questions as I can. Okay. So think about all this as we move forward. Generally, I do take some questions, and I really want to hear from you guys and girls. We're seeing too many things going. I have so much stuff to talk with you about. First, I'm going to try to keep it, condensed because like I said, I really want to open this up to you guys and girls. Um, Look, I always tell you, I am certainly not the smartest guy in the room here. I may be kind of the daddy, but this is our thing, and it's really taken on um, quite a move, honestly. This thing that we have, and this thing of ours, right, Mitch? Thank you. And so, like I said, I really want to open this up to all of you. So, I have some questions ready at the end. I already have a few here. I took a snapshot of some questions here in this chat. I want to cover these. These are important. All the questions are important. And just remember this: no question is ever dumb. The only questions that could be considered dumb are the ones that are not asked. Nobody, nobody knows everything here. So if you feel that your question may be dumb, please ask it because it's probably the smartest questions that we're going to get here again towards the end. So let's talk, people. The crypto wave. Thank you. Exactly. Our time. It's an interesting time to be alive. Let me tell you, man. Um, so look, this market, please don't get complacent here. Um, a nice run today higher across the board. Stocks across the board, Dow putting on like 700 points or so, crypto's getting a bit higher pretty much across the board. We have to talk about this. There's something going on here that I do not like, and I don't like this to the highest order. Okay, now we're going to talk about that. So you crypto people out here, hold on, because we do need to talk. You all know me. I am a major crypto advocate. I own Bitcoin, my largest holding. I own about 6 or 7 altogether. But we need to talk about what's happening here. There's something going on here, and I'm just not liking it anyway. Um, so please hold your questions towards the end, people. Write it down. I'm going to open this up to all of you later. I promise. So again, markets higher, crypto higher, commodities doing well. What we're seeing here is some stabilization here in the debt market, the currency markets, the yen carry trade. Look what they were doing to you. Okay, the mainstream media. I talked about the carry trade just recently. I'm not going to cover this again. It's a very widely used strategy to arbitrage the difference between the value of currencies. Okay, that's all I'm going to say. But you can do this in anything. The carry trade can be used in a lot of different things. Let's not even get into that because it's just kind of silly. But how people are being played here, fear. The yen carry trade is unwinding. It's over. The markets are cratering. It's over. Meanwhile, again, look, I told you all from day one. First of all, from 2 weeks ago, way before that, you and I, Mitch knows that I'm talking about again, we're waiting for this. We have not had a meaningful pullback or a drop in this market. The S&P 500 is up 25% in the last 9 months. Is that not enough? Are we that greedy that we need to be even higher than that? Honestly? And then you got people, I know there's so much propaganda out there. Well, it's so-and-so's fault that the market's crashing. There's no crash here, okay? There's nothing. This is expected. This is a volatile time of the markets here. You should expect this right now all the way through the rest of this month here. Political uncertainty, nonsense, garbage, propaganda, everything. You all know that. So, but with that said, I mean, you and I, me and my Lions, what did we do on Monday when this market was falling through the floor? We pounced. That's what I did. I know that's what a lot of you did too. I told you what I was doing. This is not the end. This market is being pushed much higher, in my view. Of course, there's always the risk of an outlying event, some kind of a black swan or something along those lines. People, come on, man. Okay. The market, people are in the market. because they want risk. Okay, period. So risk is a double-edged sword, and you got to be willing to accept that. You understand? Not for everybody. I get it. Period. Now, as I said, so I tried to explain what was going on as a rebalancing. Okay, the market is pricing in a few things. The market is pricing in a couple of big things. And it's the same things that we're hearing out of the mouth of our two clowns that are running for president. They have no power. Do you think Biden has power? How many of you, let me see your show of hands. How many of you believe that Joe Biden has power? The man can't even walk and chew gum at the same time. And again, I understand, I'm not picking on him. He's an old dude. He's got a lot of issues here. Do you actually believe that Biden has any power at all? No, they have no power. Presidents have zero power. The power resides in those that control the money, the cash, that really control the economy, that control the monetary system, the financial system. Do you see where I'm going with this? Okay. Biden has no power. Whoever's selected as president has no power. They have no power. It's the central banks who run it all. They're on a mission to fulfill a goal that they have set in motion over a century ago, long before you and I were even dreamt of. Okay. Our great grandparents' time. And they're working towards that goal. Nothing can stop it. Nothing can stop it. What the market is doing here is pricing in, again, what the two clowns are selling us. The two clowns are selling us the same story. A weaker dollar and lower rates. This does not help you. This is trickle down economics. They're not going to tell you that. You can't be. So again, for those of you that, well, Greg, I never heard Trump mention it. I never heard Kamala. Do you really believe that one of these are actually going to tell you that it's trickle down? In other words, making the rich richer, making them more powerful is going to help you. Sure, it's working great around the world. This is look, don't take my word for any of this, please. Please. You have to understand that the world, every single developed economy has adopted some form of this trickle-down nonsense. And the more that we're hearing for calls for lower rates, the more that we're hearing calls for a weaker dollar, the more that you're being led to the slaughter. Again, gone are the mom and pop shops in favor of the corporate agenda. That's all this works for. And the market is understanding that. The market is rebalancing. We're seeing a phenomenon here occur in the debt market. You're watching the yield curve drop. We've seen the 10-year yield fall off a cliff. It has bounced up. It's stabilizing here. Okay. As is the dollar. Again, comes back. Here comes back the carry trade, the yen carry trade, every freaking carry trade. The market is getting propped up. The Fed's buying it all. That's their goal. You understand that. Nobody understands that better than you do. Okay. We cannot stop. There is no way on this earth, off this earth. Again, I hope you're taking notes and you want to ask me some questions at the end. So I'll do that. Anyway, we, the people here of the world, the middle class is becoming rapidly extinct. I can't say this another way, and it's actually true. The economy is not run by Joe Biden, soon to be one of these other clowns running for president. They may want you to believe that's true. They're not. They're a figurehead. They are a figurehead. If you look back on just the last three presidents, as I said, they have been the best friends of the Federal Reserve in the history of the United States. We've not seen anything like this before. Obama, Trump, this guy, whoever they select next is going to, again, be the best friend the Fed ever had. They're in their final stage for their final solution, people. It's coming. It's coming, and you and I are ready from across the board here. Okay, we're taking advantage of everything that comes our way, not just from a financial standpoint, but from every angle, mentally, physically, spiritually. You understand here? We're making connections with the right people ourselves. We've built a family here, okay? I am so proud of this thing, what we've built here. This is huge. I mean, we could have millions of people following us again if I licked toilet bowls and ate Tide Pods. But no, this is a channel here for winners. This is a channel for people who want to be part of the solution of a revolution, because we need people like us to come out of this here. We're not all going to make it. I'm going to tell you right now, I might not make it. Some of you might not make it. We are facing down a worst case scenario, period. We're prepared for it. We are prepared for it. Okay? Are we on the same page here? I think we are. So anyway, look, I'm not going to go on and on about things. That's really what I wanted to cover here. But I want to talk about a few other things. Let's talk about a very inconvenient truth. Now, most of you understand here that it's not kings, queens, presidents, dictators, or monarchs that control the world. I already told you who does here. This is most of you are familiar with Alan Greenspan. This guy was possibly, and I think he was the only Federal Reserve chairperson who actually had the guts to tell us the truth. People hear these things and they blow it off. Now, this is from 2009. This is the I can't even barely read this, man. Permaculture Research Institute, and they go over a few things about Alan Greenspan and the truths that he told us. He let us know the truth. Now, I want to read through some of this, and this is nothing compared to what this man actually said. So go look back at what Alan Greenspan said with regard to the Federal Reserve. But this is the key. This one paragraph will sum it all up for you. So again, Federal Reserve Chairman admits agency above the law and above the president. Former Federal Reserve Chairman Alan Greenspan, this is what he had to say about the Federal Reserve. Quote, "The Federal Reserve is a private agency above the law, above the president, and is not subject to any outside interference." Now, for those of you who are waiting for this law to be introduced when Trump is selected, where we could actually get in and audit the Fed, ain't happening, just so you know. Don't get your hopes up on that. Speaking of hopes, we're going to talk about something that I find very disturbing, and we're going to talk about in just a moment here. But I want you to look at a few other things here. So fund managers who are people, if you've been with me for 6 months, you could be a fund manager, okay? These imbeciles have no idea what they're talking about. So fund managers are telling their clients to shy away from gold. People, if you are not in gold, physical silver, have exposure to commodities, then, and if you've been with me, then I think you're in the wrong spot. Okay, so this is unbelievable to hear. Number two, so that's that. I want you to understand that obviously these so-called fund managers are brain dead. Number two here, this is related stories. This is CNBC talking about Bitcoin. Now, Bitcoin's dizzy. I'm reading this to you. All right. And like I said, we're going to talk about this stuff later. Bitcoin's dizzying price movements make it a very risky investment, say some experts here. It's pure, unadulterated speculation. Okay. Let me tell you something about the crypto space. All of you understand Greg Mannarino's stance on this. What they're not telling you here is, first of all, we all understand that the crypto space, Bitcoin, are extremely volatile. Why? First of all, the crypto space is relatively new. Okay, the market doesn't know what to do with it. A lot of people are confused by it. It's again very thinly held. So when these whales dump this stuff or buy it or whatever, you can see tremendous moves here in the price action of Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies as well. But you should expect this. I personally believe, and I've been telling you this for I don't know how freaking long. It feels like time immemorial, that you need some exposure to this stuff. Okay, just some. If you had to pick one, it's going to be Bitcoin. Again, we're going to talk more about Trump and Bitcoin because something is going on here and we need to talk about it. And I want to hear from you on that too. This is an open forum, which means I get to ask some questions as well. Recession commodities, no good. Look, we're not worried about that. We're not worried about that. Stumble Pro, hold that question. Okay. We'll hold commodities because we understand that this whole house of cards that's built over a pool of gasoline is going to go up. Okay. We understand that the game is risk on. Cash getting forced into the stock market should make sense to you, buddy. Okay. Risk on is eventually going to turn risk off. The meltdown is going to start in the debt market. Cash is going to leave the debt market, and I mean bleed out of it like we've never seen before in history. That's going to put pressure on world stock markets like you can't even believe. Everyone's going to run to the door at the same time. Cash does not fly away to money heaven. It will move into commodities as the people. It's a no-brainer here. Okay, cash moves through the markets in predictable patterns. Okay, so people, get yourselves up to speed with this. Understand? Anyway, Bitcoin and crypto does need to be in your portfolio. Forget the volatility. Okay, if you can't handle it, of course, stay away. You need to have this. Forget the fund managers. These need to be in your portfolio. Okay. Now, this is something interesting here. And this is the last thing I want to talk about before moving on to what I feel is there's something going on I don't like. And I want to bring it up to you. Okay. And I want you guys and girls to answer me on this. So the diversification, what has Greg Mannarino told you he's doing? Since time immemorial, Gregory has told you. People hate it when I talk about myself in the third person. Me, I have told you that I own a lot of assets. Okay. I am in pretty much everything. I have never told anyone to go all in on any one asset. You got to be spread out. You can be overweight certain assets if you want overweight. In other words, however you structure your portfolio. When someone uses a fancy term like overweight, oh, I'm overweight X, I'm overweight this, it just means that you have an abundance of that in your portfolio. Generally, there is a structure. Jeffrey knows exactly what I'm talking about. Hold those questions till later, bro. We'll talk about all this stuff. I'm sorry, bro. Generally, there is a structure to how a portfolio is set up according to, of course, rocket scientist fund managers. You understand? You see them, they're all rocket scientists here. And that structure, first of all, I think it's got to be thrown out. The tried and true structure of X% bonds and X% equities and X% this, it's nonsense. Okay. In this day and age, we need to have there's a whole new set of dynamics in play. There's a whole new set of rules. Makes it very simple for you and I to understand what we need to do here. We need exposure to commodities on a massive scale. Right now, commodities are on sale. The more that central banks are called upon to lower rates, that's what we're hearing out of clown number one and clown number two. You make a decision who I'm talking to. One just happens to be Kamala, one just happens to be Trump. It's a show, and they are the clowns. You understand? Okay. They do not have your best interest in mind. You may think they do. Again, the economy, the markets, the monetary system is not run by them. It's run by the Fed, who is above the law. Are we on the same page here? They make the rules. They make the rules. Everything else is just nonsense here. You know, it's interesting. Those of you that do believe that presidents make the rules here, a lot of Trump supporters, and I'm not putting Trump down here, okay, say that he was forced to promote the clot vax bioweapon that is obviously responsible for the death of hundreds of thousands, I don't know, maybe millions. So he didn't want to do it, but he was forced to do it. So if Trump was forced to do it, who's forcing him? Who is his bosses? Who's his overlords? Okay? Come on, people, man. Come on. Honestly. With war, the spreading of war and death, which seems to be the MO here of Biden, Kamala. Okay, also death. Both of these clowns here, in one way or the other, have listened to their overlords and killed hundreds of thousands of people. Hundreds of thousands of people because they've been told what to do. Anyway, look, with regard to that, let us talk. And then I'm going to open this up to all of you. People, let me tell you something. I love all of you, and I can't tell you how much that's the truth. But I have gotten bombarded and slammed upside down, backwards, and sideways. Everyone wants to know what I think about all this. We are getting bombarded with some kind of hype, which bothers me. Let me read some of these. I just made a few of these. It's all over the internet, everywhere you want to look. So let's talk here. This is the first one. I just want to read a little bit to you. Trump's son hints at a major crypto announcement around DEFi. Let me read this to you. The crypto world is speculating about possible developments from Donald Trump's son's enigmatic post on X. Donald Trump Jr. hinted at a major development, declaring, "We're about to shake up the crypto world with something huge. Don't get left behind." Okay. Now, I could read a little bit more, but let's move on. So just remember, don't get left behind. Here's another one. It's Forbes. Don't get left behind. Crypto suddenly braced for a game-changing Trump bombshell. Okay. More hype. Donald Trump Jr. teases huge crypto news. More hype. These are all different. I mean, it's everywhere. Donald Trump Jr. promises a huge crypto announcement. And again, I mean, I could go on and on. Donald Trump's son, Eric hints at shocking crypto announcement. What comes next? Don't get left behind. Let me say this right off the top. Why, if whatever this may be, whatever this is such a revolution, is so magnificently, absolutely show-stopping great, why does it need all the hype? Why does it need all the hype? Greg Mannarino here. People, you're looking at a guy who is a major crypto advocate. But let me tell you something. You see this? You see this hype? There is no way that this is even going to come close to the hype behind it. Why is it being hyped? Why the hype? Why not just put this thing out? Why secretly do this in the background? Telling people straight out. Don't get left behind. Are you freaking kidding me? This is a sales ploy of one way or the other. And you know something? Maybe we are being deceived here. Maybe I am being deceived because I have been on this. I have been saying that because, look, Donald Trump made a 180. I get it. And I have applauded him for that. Why has Greg Mannarino applauded Donald Trump for making a 180 with regard to cryptocurrency? Because I was in that same boat. I was in that same boat a long time ago. You can check my work from a while back. I didn't understand this stuff. I just couldn't get my head around it, okay? After research, talking to people in the know, getting to and making up my own mind, I realized, hold on a minute here. This is something that I should be looking at. So again, I have turned a page here. I have made a 180 on cryptocurrency. So is Donald Trump. Okay, I didn't think of that I thought of it as a very positive. All of you know that. I put out post after post after post about Trump saying, I'm the crypto president. I'm the Bitcoin president. Load up on Bitcoin. Don't ever sell your Bitcoin. Bitcoin. But this is something else, man. What the freaking heck is going on here? This revolutionary needs to be hyped up like this? Something's wrong. Something is wrong. Okay. And I don't know what it is, but Greg Mannarino, people, I ain't liking it. Okay. Look at everything through a very skeptical lens. If something is so great, it doesn't need all this hype, man. Does that make sense to you? Does that make sense to you? I hope it does. I really, really do. Geo Rider, dude, I am in the same boat as you. I don't like it. I don't like it. Anyway, look. All right, so now is the time for me to step back. And I want to start off with a few questions here. Here is what I want to do. All right, again, I took a little snapshot of this earlier, a couple of questions that were pretty good. So, Dave, let's start off with your question because it was the first one that I saw. Dave Bellamy, is it possible that the stock market could dump much further, even with the MMRI low? First of all, let's stop there. Abso-freaking-lutely. Okay, the MMRI is a risk indicator, but just because there's low risk doesn't mean there is no risk. I've been telling people that since the inception of the MMRI, okay? When the MMRI first came out, it was in the green. I don't have a snapshot of it. So anyway, it was green. I mean, this was a low risk environment, but low risk does not mean no risk. There's always the risk, okay? Again, the market is a risk mechanism. People are in the market because they want risk. Risk is reward, period. You have to be able to tolerate risk to be in the market. Does that make sense to you? I hope it does. So anyway, and he goes on to ask, for existence, more major issues come over from Japan. Absolutely, bro. Look, there are so many facets to this. And this is why I always say, this is a really great question. I'm glad you brought this up, Dave, honestly. This game of the market and everything connected to it, okay? The whole thing is a game of incomplete information. We're living in a world of incomplete information. Not only because we can never get the truth. You understand that. That's all people want is the truth. People can't get the truth from anywhere, from anyone. It's a lie. It's a distraction. It's a deception. It's some kind of freaking hype story that I can't even get my head around. Why all the hype? Donald, please, dude, I'm giving you credit here, man. But what are you doing? John, thank you, man. BlackRock. What's my take on BlackRock? What do you think? It's a no-brainer, man. They're going to load up on this stuff. Of course, look, if Trump is selected here, I can't imagine that this is a negative for Bitcoin unless I'm being duped. Is it possible that Greg Mannarino is being duped by King Grifter or whatever it may be here? I don't know. I believe in this space, and maybe that makes me a little biased or whatever it might be. When I saw this, I started saying to myself, Greg, are you really doing the right thing? Are you honestly? Because again, I've been backing Trump up. I've been his biggest proponent here lately with his whole take on crypto and Bitcoin. But why the freaking, almost said a bad word, why the hype, dude? Why the hype? Why hype something that is so revolutionary? It doesn't need the hype. Anyway, it just bothers me. So anyway, that's one here question. And then here, does the Fed want Trump or Harris, or does it even matter? Great question. What we are being sold here is the same plan. Okay. It's lower rates. It's a weaker dollar. People, by both clowns, we don't need that. We need higher rates. We need a stronger currency. We do not need to be urinated on. Trickle down don't work. Don't work. Okay. Again, where's the proof? Look around you. Are we doing great here right now? Were we doing great during Trump's tenure? You're going to say yes, some of you. No, we were not. We were floating then on oceans of debt like we're floating on now. And the fact that we didn't have inflation then was because of the lag effect, which I've covered repeatedly, which I've told you was going to happen. The money velocity started to kick up. This is all that cash that has been created out of nothing. Now chasing the same amount of goods. But it ain't Trump's fault. It's not Biden's fault or Obama's fault. Who creates the currency out of nothing? Who is more happy to lend? The Fed. They run it all. It's unbelievable. Anyway, doesn't matter who they put behind the Resolute desk, people being led to the slaughter, and we're being told what they're going to do. Let's see here. If Trump supports Bitcoin, that should be a huge red flag. As I said, I've been backing Trump up on this, but this to me, I'm going to tell you the truth, people, bothers me. I'm not going to bring it up again, but don't get left behind. What kind of a hype is that? What kind of a tagline is that? I don't get it. When people get caught up, let me tell you something. Never get caught up in the hype of anything. You're going to lose. There are going to be some people that are going to win, and I mean win big. But most of the people are going to be destroyed. The people that are going to win big are going to win because you're losing. This may be a setup here. I don't like the hype. Anyway. Yes, John Doe. All right, like I said, I'm going to open this up here. So physical cash is a must. Let's cover that real quick. Okay, I believe. I'm getting myself all hyped up here, people, man. I believe we're going to face a credit freeze, a locking up of the system. Again, that was the problem in 08. It wasn't that the market crashed. That's what they wanted you to focus on. They always have a motive here, okay? And when you're told something, ask questions in your own head. If it doesn't hit you the right way, like, of course, all this hype behind this big secret here, When something doesn't hit you the right way, it's doing so because your God-given intellect is telling you something, okay? Listen to that intellect, and you're going to be a lot better off. There's just no doubt about it. Now, we are being led into a moment here. Again, forget about a stock market crash. Everyone's looking at the market. You know what you're looking at. You're looking at the debt market. We're watching the 10-year yield, the dollar. I've broken this down maybe too simply with the MMRI. Okay, it gives us a window into what the Fed is actually doing here. You know, the Fed that runs it all. They're above the law and above the president, according to Greenspan. What a statement here that he made. But he's made many statements like that, not just that one. Look it up for yourself. Anyway, so we're going to face a liquidity crisis on a scale that people are not going to believe. Again, all of this is going to begin and end in the debt market. The currency itself is a unit of debt, is going to melt down. Central banks here in a race to the bottom. They're all inflating. They're looking for an ally to sit behind the resolute desk, someone that's going to call for a weaker dollar, which we're hearing right out of the mouth of Trump. Well, Kamala doesn't know the difference. You understand? Trump knows. But Kamala has adopted what Trump has been saying. I promise lower rates. I promise low rates. You can't pull these two things apart. Low rates and a weaker dollar go hand in hand, but you're not allowed to know that. Go to one of these freaks' rallies. When they say that, they're getting cheered for. These people are signing their own death warrant. They're signing it away. Again, because this system doesn't work. It works for the 1% and 2%ers. It doesn't work for you. Period. That's how it's designed. There's no such thing as trickle down. The wealth is always pushed upward and it gets sucked right out of you. You understand? Anyway, going back to what I was saying, liquidity crisis. The system is going to lock up again. When it does, that means transactions stop. The liquidity crisis of last time, they were able to patch it up by pumping billions into the system to free up the credit markets, debt markets, okay? When this happens again, they can't stop it, and we're being pushed that way. They're going to deliberately take down the system to issue in a new one. The outcry that is going to happen. Imagine, for example, the system locks up. You can't use your debit card. You can't use your credit card. You can't use any form of digital money. And this goes right back to why people maybe should not hold cryptocurrency or anything else here. I get it. That's what your argument is going to be. Okay. And it's a valid one. This is why you need gold and silver in your portfolio. There's always risk here. Okay. When the system shuts down and the grid goes down and everything goes down, dollars won't be able to be used. Euros won't be able to be used. Nothing digital is going to be able to be used. You understand? Okay. Stores are going to be cleaned out. They're going to be raided. Okay. People need to feed themselves. Currency don't work. You can't get any cash out of your bank. Zeros across the screen. That's what they want, and that's where they're pushing us. You see these riots that are going on in other parts of the world? People have had enough. It's going to happen here last because the people here in the United States are done. They're dumbed down. They don't know whether to walk or chew gum at the same time. They're putting their faith in leaders that are leading them directly into the slaughterhouse. And they're going to pay for it. We've seen this. This is history repeating itself again. I mean, I'm being nice here. You understand? You need cash. You need. Look, we always have to think about these people as a worst case scenario. If we don't get it, okay, are we any worse off? We got to be prepared. You must have the high ground all the time in life. You understand? I don't know another way to put it. I've been telling you this for a minute. Barter. Exactly. You must have the ability. You have to look. The price action of gold and silver is going to skyrocket when this all happens here. But of course, that's going to preserve your wealth here. But it's not going to feed you unless you can barter with it. But I can tell you something. Let me set up a scenario for you. You're in a plane. You and a couple of your buddies are in a plane, okay? You're flying across some vast jungle, thousands of miles from civilization, okay? Stick with me on this for a moment. Engine goes out. Emergency landing. The pilot, really good pilot, okay? He's looking down, he's looking at the conditions. He finds a nice place to put that plane down. You land, you're all safe. What do you got in your pocket? Well, you were expecting to land in some other place. You got nothing. You don't even have a change of clothes. Okay. Hey, you got a few dollars in your pocket. You got your credit cards, your debit cards. Okay. So all of a sudden you start seeing some natives. What are these people? Who are these people? It's kind of interesting. No, they come over. They've never seen an airplane before. Maybe they've never seen white people before. I have no idea. Anyway, what I'm trying to say is, how are you going to trade with these people? Now you need these people. You need to survive. If you have no survival skills, okay, Harry Potter. Yeah. Anyway, what are you going to do? Are you going to give them your? Are they going to accept your dollars? They've never seen a dollar before, nor a euro, nor a yen, nor anything else here. Maybe they've never even seen a piece of gold. Maybe they've never seen a piece of silver. It doesn't matter to them. They don't care. It's nice and shiny. Maybe they will trade you for something pretty and shiny. And by doing so, you can gather some food or something. This whole thing is worthless in that kind of a situation where I'm trying to get at here. You understand? You must have the ability. This is why I've been telling you how we have to create alliances with people, like-minded people. We need each other to get through what's coming. Let's say, for example, we face a moment of a liquidity crisis, a credit freeze. The system locks up. Okay, you can't swipe. No one's going to take. Maybe someone will take your dollars, but the stores are going to be cleaned out. You want to go buy a loaf of bread? You need some baby formula. You think it's going to be there? You think it's going to be there so you can use your dollar, whatever it may be? Buy a gallon of milk. Whatever. I don't go shopping. My wife does all the shopping. I have no idea what these things cost. She just tells me all the time. Prices are insane. Anyway, you get what I'm talking about here, people? So yeah, you need some cash on hand, of course. But good luck trying to use it anywhere, because you see how people are. For example, we had a tropical storm here recently. Try to get to a store. Everything was gone. Water. It's all gone. People just rush in there and they clean out the stores. You remember the whole toilet paper debacle? You remember all that? They're playing with us. They're playing with us. They're letting us know. So you got to have things, tangible things, food, water, things that we are going to need for each other. You have to. This is where my black hole is. Greg Mannarino needs a way to grow his own food and stuff like that too. Honestly, I think it's something that we need to know. It's a skill. I've been telling you all, check out Alaska Prepper. I think this is a good guy, and he's going to tell you what to do and how to get. But does all this stuff make sense to me? What I'm saying? Anyway, people, let us know again. Let us move forward. Yeah, the track. It was underwater, but it's drying up. Saturday night, there's some drag racing. I'm hoping to get down there with my 1320 Challenger. Lots of liquor. A farmer here, man. I tell you, man, you're in the right spot. You're in the right spot. Anyway, people. So, look, like I said, let's, any other things that you guys and girls want to cover here just real quick? You got what I'm talking about. Recession? Dude, forget about recession, man. We are in some yet to be defined thing. Of course, the mainstream media is telling you how great we're doing. We're doing fantastic. With the envy of the world. It is so not true. The world economy is contracting at its most rapid pace we've ever seen. At the same time, people, I want you to think about what I'm going to tell you. Central banks are continuing to inflate. The global money supply is ballooning. At the same time, the economy is contracting. Does that sound right to you? Again, if we had a booming economy, a real one, not just one that was floating on oceans of debt, like those of you that believe how strong the economy was under Donald Trump, it was a lie. He borrowed trillions with the help of the Fed. He helped the Fed pump trillions into the economy, which fostered the illusion, it's all an illusion, that we were prosperous. And Trump is using this thing as, it's so-and-so's fault why there's inflation. Again, he won't point his finger at the Fed. That should tell you who he's an ally of. Kamala doesn't know any better. She doesn't know any better, but Trump does. You understand? We don't need one of these puppets, people. We need someone who's out there and it's gonna lay it on the line. Maybe someone like Alan Greenspan, Alan Greenspan actually told you the truth here. The Federal Reserve is a private agency. We all know that. Above the law. I think we all know that too. Above the president. Absolutely. And is not subject to any outside interference. the show that they put on for us every FOMC meeting. The lies, the distractions, the looking down, the taking the scripted questions. It's freaking craziness, man. It's craziness on a grand scale. Yeah, I tell you, it's freaking crazy. What if the MMR drops rapidly? Well, it can't go to zero. I never really thought about that. Look, there's always going to be. I can't imagine how it could go to zero. You're going to have there's going to be some value in debt in the bond market, the 10-year yield, which is a benchmark. This is a great, dude. Honestly, thank you, because I never really thought about the MMRI going to zero. I don't think it's actually possible to go to zero again, unless the only way this could happen. There is one scenario where the MMRI could go to zero. Wow. The MMRI, this is huge. Oh my, I'm not going to be able to sleep at night because of this question here. This is epic, man. The MMRI could go to zero if the US dollar went to zero on a relative strength basis, because it uses the dollar index. So it would, for that to happen, the worldwide currency would have to go to zero. Is that a possibility? Absolutely it is. Every fiat currency has gone to zero throughout history. So it is very possible. Wow. This is a mind blower, dude. This is a freaking, people, I want you to consider what was just raised here. This is why I am saying how strong we are together. Okay, this is epic. Yes, the MMRI could go to zero. That would mean the currencies have gone to zero. That would mean that the debt market is gone. In theory, the MMRI could go to zero. Wow. I never thought about that. Not when I was creating the MMRI, which I did for myself to get an edge on this market. But that, wherever you were, man, is an epic observation. So whoa, man. Communism? Dude, you think you're free now? Really? Freedom is an illusion. Yeah, what are you free to do? You're free to take a warp speed clot vax. You're free to, if you don't do it, you're gonna get fired. You're free to do what? What are you free to do here, man? I'm surprised I'm still out here. They might think my days here are numbered, and I tell you the truth, and I tell everybody. Sign up, please. It's free. My free newsletter, because I'm gonna post right to my newsletter. I'm not posting anywhere else. I have my own platform. Oh, Greg, post here. Oh, Greg. Why? When I can post this for you, my lions here. Look, this is an exclusive group here. Tokenize my videos. That's where we're going, people. We're going to a tokenized system. You all know that. I've outlined this for all of you for the longest time. We're not free. You can't even, look. Freedom of speech, that's gone. You can't say that. We are free to do one thing. You know what we're free to do? I'm going to tell you what we're free to do, and I want you to ponder this. We're free to live in their system. They've created this system, and we must participate in it. So how does that make you free? Someone please explain this to me, because I just don't get it. The MMR started at, I think it was around 60 or 80. Clearly in the green when the MMRI started. It could go to zero, man. That's what a concept, man. I never thought about that before. I told you, man, I'm not the smartest guy in the room, and you guys and girls are obviously the smartest guys in the room. Freedom of thought. Yeah, that's true. We do have freedom of thought. And it's a beautiful thing, I suppose, here. And that's good. Look, an idea is such a powerful thing. And I put out for all of you my idea, because all I hear about from people is Greg doesn't come up with a solution. I think I've come up with many, many, many solutions here. The solution to the current system that we have is the polar opposite of what the two clowns are selling us right now. Promising you lower rates, promising you a lower dollar. All that does is feed right into the agenda of the Federal Reserve to own it all, to use their product, to buy it all. Fulfills the corporate agenda. Again, gone are the mom and pop shops, mostly here, in favor of the corporate agenda. You think that's just by a comedy of errors that happened? Is it just by chance that that's happened here? No, of course not. Of course not. Anyway, people. Oh, mom, thank you. No, it's not me that's amazing, man. Look, it's you guys. It's you girls. I am just sitting here and dude, that's another good that's it can. The MMRI could go beyond 1,000. There's no doubt about it here. If you consider again and then this is the most likely scenario. Is the MMRI going to zero? I mean, like, look, it could go to 1,000 and then rocket down to a zero, depending on, look, the currency would have to go to zero. Think about what I'm talking about here. Is it possible as I'm right with gold? No, absolutely not. Silver is way, way undervalued. Okay, they can't do that. Eventually, risk on is going to turn risk off. We need commodities. You need silver, absolutely. But anyway, the scenario that will unfold is eventually a meltdown in the debt market. The debt market is a time bomb. Now, it is a time bomb of the highest possible order, and it's being fueled every day with more and more debt. Currency being a unit of debt here, that's what the world central banks are doing right now. They're flooding the world with it. You're seeing debt purchases. Again, central banks, their game is very simple. What they do, and they got us by the throat and by the, issuing currency, creating it out of nothing, and then using the currency they create out of nothing to get into the debt market and buy all the debt. This revolving door is massively inflationary. Kamala has no idea about that. None at all. And I mean zero. All right. I'm not putting her down. It's just not what she does. You know what I mean? I'm sure she could talk circles around me with regard to law. But thank you, man. I appreciate that. Face lad, I appreciate that. Trump understands that. I mean, the man went to Wharton Business School. All right. Whatever. It's supposed to be some prestigious place. So if Trump missed that class, I doubt it, of how it works. He knows how it works. He won't tell you, though. He will not tell you, which is a lie by omission. You remember? Read his book. Read Trump's book. I'm telling you, people, if you don't already have The Art of the Deal, you're missing out on so much because, again, you'll see it in action on the campaign. They're selling you themselves, both of them. Kamala's doing it too. She has the book. Kamala has the book probably glued to her mattress, and she's reading it right now. Again, know your enemy. She considers Trump an enemy, although, again, it's a selection. But Trump tells you, mixed truth with hyperbole and alternative facts. In other words, lie. Okay. You're seeing it in action here. Okay. So that's it. And I don't like lies by omission. I also don't like this hype. Such a great idea. Shouldn't have all this. I'm on the same page as you, Stumble Pro. I don't think it's. I mean, in the outline. I mean, I'm talking about way out there. Could the MMRI go to zero? I guess anything is possible in theory. Maybe you can hang an elephant off the edge of a cliff, hanging by his tail from a daisy, and maybe in theory, by some mathematical formula, that's possible. But I guess we have to consider anything to be possible here, man. I really, really do. Okay, omission is fraud. I agree with you on that too. I really, really do. We can't get the truth, man. I think all you and I really want is the truth. Am I right? You can't escape this. Let me say that too. Art of the Deal. Art of the Deal. Go get the book, man. Go get the book. Don't get left behind. I'm telling you, people, that's what they're hyping. Don't get left behind. Are you kidding me with this? This is what they're telling us with this. Don't get left behind. Why are they selling it to us like that? Why? People are going to get destroyed. People are going to get burnt. Let me say this. No matter what that idea is, this transformative thing that they're hyping up like I've never seen before, don't get caught up in the hype. Never get caught up into the hype. You see, as I have become older, okay, I am 50 freaking 9. Seen a lot of things, done a lot of things, made a lot of mistakes, got a lot of regrets too, okay? Well, that's an interesting concept too. Hold that thought, John. Anyway, so you got to learn to become more mellow. Don't get hyped up here. Could the Fed give BlackRock the money to buy all the Bitcoin? BlackRock probably has enough money to hold Bitcoin as it is here. Look, there's no doubt that the whales. Let me say this, people, and I get it. Believe me, I get it, people, with the crypto space, and I've heard it all. The whales are always going to control it. The whales control it all. They control it all already here. Do you realize a fraction of a fraction of a fraction of the population of this nation controls half the nation's wealth? Yeah, that's fact. You don't believe it? Look it up for yourself. So it's always the whales. It's always the whales who have all this stuff, and they have the power to pull the strings. I think that's probably what you're getting to here. Absolutely, they have the power to pull the strings. You and I are being strung along, people. We're being strung along. Anyway, look, man. I think, I actually kind of got to end this, man. It's getting. I feel my blood pressure. I'm trying to be calm here, but I feel my blood pressure a little bit higher. Look, people, thank you. All right, thank you for being here for this forum. I hope we've answered some questions here. I hope we covered enough. Okay, ponder these things that we've spoken about here. Everything from we'll do this again. In fact, every post market, I open it up to all of you. All right, I'm gonna try to leave some more time for you guys. And goes, sometimes I go a little off the deep end and I cover things and I go on and on and on and on and on. And I get that. I can't stop that. That's kind of like how I am. Dude, this is coming. We've talked about this. All right, let's do this question here. Default on commercial real estate. People, what we have, what's being held in secret here, okay, is these banks' balance sheets. I've spoken about this. Thank you, Trey and Jonathan again. The bank's balance sheets are loaded up with bad debt. The major institutions do have a lifeline to the Federal Reserve. They're setting up what they're doing here. The smaller banks are going to fall. All the bad debt, the commercial real estate. Okay, we're going to be you and me are going to be forced to accept it all the bad stuff, like last time. The big banks are going to be able to buy the good assets on these banks, the smaller banks, the regional institutions for pennies on the dollar. Okay. Consolidation of power. It's going right up to the top, as it always does. Trickle down doesn't work anywhere, not just in economics. Okay. And again, Trump ain't going to use the words trickle down. Kamala is not going to say trickle down. Imagine at one of these rallies, okay, I wouldn't doubt it. If Trump, especially Trump, his followers are so radicalized, I think, but at Kamala too, they can say whatever they want. They can say, trickle down economics. Yes, we're going to help. People cheer and scream. They have no idea what it is anyway. They're all brain dead. Half of them are being paid. You realize that, right? It's not real. It's a show, especially the people sitting behind. Army Mom, thank you. Stop using credit cards. Exactly. Look, they force us to participate in their system. We have household debt, personal debt, credit card debt, consumer debt at record highs. Is that just a comedy of errors too? Really? I don't think so. I don't think so at all. I think this has all been deliberate. It's slow. It's dastardly methodical how they're doing this, what they're doing here. You understand? All right, people, look, we're going to get out. I'm really going to call this right now. I want to thank all of you for being here. This has gone on. This is almost an hour long. It's my longest ever. We did really good on these thumbs up, people, 824. Please share this stuff. Get it out there. Those thumbs up, again, the more thumbs up we get, the more likely the algorithms will pick it up, and this is going to get out there. So I'm counting on you to get this stuff out there, people. Gio, thank you, man. I really appreciate it. But you're all the best ever here. You're all the best here. Me, I am just very proud to be the daddy, honestly, or the overseer, the lion. One day, one of you are going to take my place. I'm telling you, this lion, when he gets too old, there's going to be a new lion here, and it's going to be one of you guys. There's no doubt about it. I am going to need someone to carry this on at one point. Not yet. I'm 59, so I think I still got a while here. You know what I mean? But there's going to be a changing of the guard at one point. There's no doubt about it. Anyway, that's it, people. All right. I'll see all of you in the morning. Thank you for being here. Thank you for your love. Thank you for support. All of you are amazing. I can't thank you enough. Again, I will see you in the morning. So what am I going to tell you? Until we meet again, take care of yourselves, of course, and take care of each other.